Trustly students, today in this class we're going to learn about class 7 geography chapter number 1, that is environment part 3. So this will be the last part of chapter number 1, that is environment. So in the last two classes we learned about the topics that we are going to learn and discuss uh, in this chapter number 1. And after that we learned about the meaning of environment and what are the three components or three components of environment. So three components of environment, they are a natural environment, human environment, and human made environment. And in the second class we learned about the uh, natural environment. So meaning of natural environment, and from the natural environment mostly we learned about the domains, four domains or four space of natural environment. They are hydrosphere, atmosphere, lithosphere, and biosphere. So in this class we are going to learn about the third topic, that is ecosystem. So eco means living or biological things in the particular environment. System means interaction of, when the interaction of living organism takes place in a particular environment, that is called system, ecosystem. So first thing is uh, ecosystem. It is a system. So it is a system formed by, how system is formed by means interaction of all the living organisms. So here the living organisms means we are talking about, so we already discussed about the biotic and abiotic things. So living organism here means all the plants, animals, and human being are included in the living organisms. So a system formed by interaction of all the living organisms with each other and with the physical environment and chemical factors of the environment in which they live. That means when the interaction system formed by interaction of all the living organisms with their physical environment. So we know physical environment like soils, solar energy, water, air. This is called physical, and chemical means we have exchange of carbon dioxide and this one oxygen. All these are included in this factor in a particular environment that which they lives in, that is called ecosystem. So lastly, all now in which they live, all linked by transfer of energy and material. So transfer of energy means, so here we have plants. So here we have plants. So this particular plants uh, is also called producer. Why? Means with help of solar energy, with help of nutrients from the soil, airs in the atmosphere, and water in the soil and atmosphere, these plants will grow by themselves. So after that, these plants will eat by animals. So plants eating animals are also called herbivore. Herbivore animals will eat plants. So all the plants in the on this planet are called uh, producers and herbivore. These plants will eat by herbivores. Herbivore means those plants which eat plants. They are called herbivores, and these uh, those animal herbivore animal will again uh, eat by the this one carnivores animals. So they are called consumers, consumer, primary consumer and secondary consumer. So here we have, if we look at here in this diagram, we can see the transfer of energy. The plants will get energy from sun, soil, atmosphere, and water. After that, these plants energy is transferred to, because these plants are eaten by this one herbivores. These plants energy is transferred to herbivores animals. Again, herbivores animal energy is transferred to the carnivore. So that here we have a transfer of energy and material from one place to one living organism to another living organism. So that is called transfer of energy. We can also say uh, food chain or food cycle, like this transfer of energy from uh, one living organism to another living organism. It is called transfer of energy. All the plants, animals, and human beings dependent on each other and their immediate surrounding form an ecosystem. So all the plants, all the animals, and human beings, they are dependent on each other for their survival, for their food, for their immediate need from the surroundings, like nutrient from the soil, solar energy, air, oxygens, carbon dioxide, uh, and many other things. So it will form a system that is called interaction. It will form an interaction or system that is called ecosystem. So all the plants, animals, and human beings dependent on each other and they imitate surroundings, and it will form an ecosystem that is called ecosystem. They could be an ecosystem of large rainforest. So we have different types of ecosystems: rainforest ecosystem, grassland ecosystem, desert ecosystem, mountain ecosystem, lake ecosystem, river, ocean, and likewise we have small pond ecosystem. So all these environment, we have a different plants and animals lives in different environmental conditions. Because of that, each of these different environmental conditions, we have different plants and animals will live. Different plants will grow, different animals will live. Because of that, each different environment, we have a different ecosystem. So that is the called. These are the called types of ecosystem. So um, generally, we have types of ecosystem such as natural ecosystem, we have terrestrial ecosystem, we have grassland ecosystem, forest ecosystem, desert ecosystem. From natural ecosystem, we have aquatic ecosystem, we have marine or ocean ecosystem, and freshwater like lake, rivers, we have a ecosystem. And artificial or man-made ecosystem such as aquarium, we used to keep fishes in aquarium, and agricultural land or crop fields. All these are the ecosystem. So these are the different types of ecosystem. Generally, we have terrestrial ecosystem, aquatic ecosystem, and artificial or man-made ecosystem. So these are the different types of ecosystem in different environmental condition. So the last topic of this chapter, chapter number 1, is human environment. Human being interact with the environment. So human being interact with natural environment and modify, change their environment according to their needs. That means human being lives in a particular environment and they will use the natural environment for their basic needs, and they will change the natural environment according to their needs, like construction of houses, making agricultural land. All these are called modification of environment or interaction of human being interaction with the natural environment. Cutting of the forest, cutting of the trees, all these are called the interaction human being interact with the natural environment. So with the time, human needs grew and become more varied. So here we have two images. This is past, uh, early or primitive human life. Here we have modern or present human life. So human beings society, human society. So if we compare between these two pictures, so during olden days, these people are called hunters and gatherers. So they live a very simple life and all their requirements are fulfilled by their own surrounding. But if we look at the second image, here we have totally different. These people are not settled on a particular place. They are always moving from one place to another for hunting and gathering the fruit, nuts, and other needs of their lives. And if you look at here, this is totally different. Here, people settled life. We have more luxurious types of lifestyles. So with the time, that means as compared to this picture, with the time the human needs grew, human needs become more and become more varied. Varied means much more variety, more varied. So because of that, human needs grew and their needs are more varied. Because of that, humans learn new ways to use and change the environment. So because of that, human needs are grew and their needs are more varied. Human learns new ways to use and change the environment. So these are the examples of how human needs are grew and they learn new techniques to use the natural environment, such as they learn to grow crops. So these are the so human learn new ways to use and change the environment because with the time human needs grew and become more varied. And after that human learn new ways to use and change the environment, such as they learn to grow crops, they learn to grow crops, they started domesticate the animals, domestication of animals, keeping the animals, livestock, animals and lead a settled life. So here the people earlier people are moving from one place to another place in order to search food for themselves. But nowadays people settled a life in a permanent place. They are living forever in a permanent place mostly. So these are the changes. The human modified the this one physical environment. After that, the wheel was invented. We already discussed invention of wheels in the transport, chapter number 7. Surplus food was produced. Surplus food means extra food, more than they need. They are producing more than they need from the agricultural land. Barter system emerged, changing of goods directly. Changing of goods means giving pen, exchanging pen and pencil. That is called barter system. Changing goods directly, because during that time they don't have money system. Trade and commerce development, international trade, exchange of goods and services among the countries developed, within the country developed. Industrial revolution enable large scale production means mass production, many goods production, because of means industrial revolution. So first industrial revolution took place in 1750s in England. So after that, so industrial revolution means production of goods in industries with help of machine. That is called industrial revolution. Enable large scale production, mass production, many production, huge production. And after that better means of transport and communication were developed. So these are called human environment. Thank you.